Hi sellers. So I just shared with you a lot about our enthusiast buyers and how knowing them better can help you attract loyal buyers. We are so lucky today to have two sellers here to continue that conversation. So we're here today with Rob Barris of Burbanksportcards and Gabe Middleton of Human IT. They're going to talk to us about their own success and experience on the platform, attracting and retaining these very important enthusiast buyers, as well as how to utilize the tools that we talked about to target them. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Gabe. Hi, Rob.
Hello.
Hi. Thanks for coming. Really, really great to have you guys. As I talked about, having sellers, meeting sellers and spending time with sellers is a lot of fun for me, and really excited to have you guys here.
Sure. Thanks so much for having us, Steph.
Yeah, excited to be here, Steph.
Great. So we want to know a little bit more about you guys and where you come from before we dig into buyers. So maybe Rob, let's start with you.
Yeah, I'd love to start. Rob Barris, I own Burbanksportcards in Burbank, California. Lifelong sports card collector, going back to about 6, 7 years old. Got my start in a coin and stamp shop that I was delivering flyers at 12 years old in 1979. So that's my origin story. And a few years later, at 22, in 1989, bought the business from the previous owner. So for 33 years now, I've been selling sports cards and never worked a day in my life. I love it.
Amazing. So you are one of the sports trading card fanatics that I have been learning from all year long, which has been amazing. Gabe, tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Yeah, so I'm Gabe Middleton and co-founder and CEO at Human IT. I started Human IT about 10 years ago, and I just wanted to share my passion for technology with as many people as we could. And so what Human IT is, we're a nonprofit social enterprise that creates equitable access to opportunities by providing devices, internet connection, digital literacy training, and tech support for communities left on the wrong side of the digital divide. While at the same time, we look to empower businesses and organizations to do good by diverting their technology away from landfills to protect our planet. Now, eBay, from the very beginning, has been our main economic engine to drive revenue toward our digital inclusion programs. And our store sells high-quality refurbished electronic devices. So without the revenues from eBay, we wouldn't really be able to fully execute on our digital inclusion programs. So what brought us to the platform was a desire to achieve economic sustainability, and eBay allows us to monetize the technology that is donated to us to help more families who are left on the wrong side of the digital divide.
That's amazing. It's an amazing company. Congratulations. I kind of grew tears sometimes watching some of the videos and all the impact that you're having. So thank you for doing that. And it really, honestly, resonates a lot with eBay's mission, of course, of driving sustainable empowerment for all. So thank you for being on the platform, both of you. So Rob, can you tell us about your experience on the platform over the past few years? Because trading cards has been through this incredible boom, and I've learned in the last year that people really took a different mindset around COVID around this. So I'd love to hear more directly from you about that.
Well, let's just go back, Steph, to March of 2020. And sports.
We may not want to go back.
No.
Yes.
You are so correct with that. But let's not go there, but let's talk about it anyways.
Yes.
And basically, it was a doomsday scenario. If you're a sports card seller, you have no sports. Your retail showroom is dark, and you're thinking, what's going to happen next? It was a scary proposition back then. And so we're monitoring our online sales, and we're starting to see these upticks, and then all of a sudden, it just went like that. It went through the roof as people were looking to do something. They wanted hobbies. They wanted to they collected cards years ago, and so they were lapsed, and all of a sudden, they wanted something that brought them joy. And it was something that we didn't expect. I don't think anybody expected, but our eBay sales went 4x. They went 400% on us. And it was a first world problem. We're making all these sales, but the problem was we couldn't have staffing in the warehouse to pull these orders. And so we're trying to sneak a few people in here and there, but we just fell so far behind. Again, it was a first world problem, but it was a problem. But what we were seeing is just all these new users, these names we'd never seen before. And one of the things that we realized right away was it wasn't just the white male in their 40s collecting cards that we were used to for decades. It was, gender, ethnicity, it just age groups. It was everybody. And it was overwhelming, but it was something that lit this fire for the industry, and it's just gotten so much national attention. But the cool thing is with social media, especially IG, it became really cool to collect cards again, which it may not have been in the past decade or two. And people sharing their stories and their cards, it just went viral. And our business just has changed in so many ways. And eBay basically maybe didn't save our business, but it certainly gave me a good feeling about the business going forward, being closed and being able to have literally the best month in the history of our business in May of 2020.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. I think COVID threw us all for a loop in many things, but a lot of really great things came out of COVID, right? New customers coming to new categories, people trying different things, and I love this diversity angle to it and seeing different people doing different things, which is really incredible.
And just speaking here, you could never assume that the woman isn't the collector when they come in the store. Just the sheer amount of girls and women come into this, it just changes everything. It's just been wonderful these last 2-3 years.
Really cool to see. As I said, I've been trying to figure out what to collect next, so
Nice.
you might have me. All right, so I talked a lot about category-centric buyers, these ones who purchase generally within one theme, and collectibles and hobbies and things like that. Rob, you probably have come across the category-centric buyer, fully into trading cards, of course, and they frequently come back. Talk to me about kind of how you think about repeat buyers and looking at your store, which I will say, I think 29,000 followers, 5.3 million items sold, 2.3 million SKUs, 99.6% positive feedback, which congratulations.
Thank you.
And I guess you probably have a lot of repeat buyers coming. So talk to me how do you court them and keep them going?
Well, I think it has to do with continually generating fresh inventory. You don't want your eBay store to be stale, and to provide stickiness, you need to have new things constantly, and not just for your buyers per se, but on the eBay platform, all these new listings are tentacles out there that are, it's marketing. And, again, there's so many new types of buyers that we didn't have before. So we veered heavily into non-sports, Star Wars, any types of trading cards out there because, again, we have this diversity of buyers now. And just trying to hammer home new items. And it's just been, now we're up to, like you said, over 2.3 million unique items.
Amazing.
And we need to have that because there's such a wide variety of new users hitting us. One of the other things that we do is we offer free shipping thresholds, which I think is a must in the e-commerce space. And it just, so many add-ons take place and they find us because of one item and they're like, well, there's shipping on that. But once they get into the shopping cart and they realize if we hit this number, it's free. It's very important to us. And then again, now they're searching our store and seeing all these different things they didn't see originally. So that right there is very huge for us. Best offer is something that it's kind of your first engagement with the customer. It starts the conversation.
Yeah.
And maybe you don't finalize that deal, but it's something that it gives you a chance to sell something, especially at the higher price points. And lastly, I think just putting yourself in the customer's shoes, and whether you're in a retail store and you're behind the counter or you're online, the things that you really look for, speedy email replies. Nobody wants to wait for that. So you have to have staffing that immediately looks at things and gets back to someone because especially with us, we have such a daunting inventory and there's so many questions that you need to get replies out quickly. Shipping has to go out the door quickly. Well, except when you only have 4 people pulling orders and you go 4X, but you need to get the stuff out the door quickly. Again, what would you want as a consumer? And you really need to meet that. And of course, competitive pricing. You really want to be able to hit the mark with that and be able to replicate it across multiple items so that when they put that cart together, and you're shipping it quickly and you've communicated properly, it's the complete buying experience for the consumer.
Right, right. I mean, amazing to hear all of these different tactics you have to employ. I think when I've been learning more about these buyers, one thing you realize is there's a lot of buyers that are here daily and just visiting daily, engaged daily. That's like a tremendous kind of backdrop. But it's a lot because there's so much activity going on, right? They've got to be checking prices, they've got to be checking inventory, they've got to be checking shipping. And so it's really cool to see how you are kind of nailing across all of those different things.
Thank you, yes.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about value seekers, which is our other high growth buyer category. We know that the value seeker looks for pre-loved items and re-commerce items. Gabe, your company, Human IT, works with businesses and organizations to divert unwanted technology away from landfills and gives those items a second chance on eBay. Your company also donates to under-resourced communities. It's one of the things I just loved watching in the videos that I saw. With giving these electronics a second chance and sustainability being top of mind for many of these buyers, what are some of the offerings that you give your buyers? You know, we've got seller-initiated offers, coded coupons, free shipping. What have you found really successful, and what's working for you guys?
So we leverage virtually all the tools eBay provides us to reach our buyers. We create seller offers, coded coupons, and we also offer free shipping on our most popular categories like laptops and computer accessories. However, the most important offer that we utilize, and the way I think about it, the most important offer that we utilize is our eBay for Charity program. We really want to make it easy for our buyers to do good, and the eBay for Charity program does just that. Studies show that 57% of consumers are willing to change their purchasing habits to reduce the negative environmental and social impacts of the companies that they shop with. And so what's great is that all the eBay sellers out there can tap into this customer's desire and differentiate themselves by participating in the eBay for Charity program. And I'm a huge believer that this will truly unlock their buyers' purchasing power to make our world a more just and sustainable place to live. So good, I love that. Especially, I think you're probably seeing it with younger generation, right? This is more and more important to them. And you know, you run a multi-generation family business and seeing everybody come in and out, but I think this younger audience is pushing us to be more thoughtful around sustainability and what we're doing with our planet. So really great to see all the work that you're doing there. Yeah, awesome. eBay for Charity makes it easy. Good,
I love that. Okay, so I just talked about like how this young audience is so important to us. Some of them are becoming sellers, and you know, as both very, very successful sellers, what advice would you have for kind of newer sellers, younger sellers in this audience that can kind of help you create that repeat buyer business and help them grow their business fast like you guys did?
Well, it's one of those things where, you know, you got to use the tools that are available, obviously, but I think a lot of it's just your infrastructure, and it's just a lot of times people are searching where'd that item go. You know, you're looking for things, and especially as you scale and you grow, that you need to have an infrastructure in place. And with us, this went back to our retail story years ago, before eBay. We were getting phone calls, and it's like, do you have this? Do you have that? And my mother worked with us back then, and we wanted to have an organizational system in place where she could find something. And it was like, well, if Mom can find it, you know, we can hire people to do the same thing. And we've kind of scaled that over the years. And it really comes down to us. It's just ABCs, 1, 2, 3s, and colors. Everything's color coded, it's alphabetical, and it's in number order. So we can take this insanity of 40 million cards and be able to put it into something where they can find cards in seconds. And so these young folks that are coming in and just starting their inventories out, maybe plan down the road where you have this idea that you can execute and you can maintain as you scale. So I think that that is critical.
It's making me think that, I need to put my kids to work at home because they can color code.
Sure.
They can sort through. And my husband has accumulated a pretty large pile of stuff that I maybe, so I might take even to some of that to C2C selling.
Exactly. So if you're starting with just a few things, realize that when you become successful, you're going to have thousands of things, and how you start storing it now will pay benefits in the future.
They're very
right?
entrepreneurial.
Right.
Okay,
and I think what we had a huge problem with our business, and basically, how do you get your items to eBay? Well, the biggest pain point is imaging. You need to have pictures for everything, and as you start out, okay, I can manage it, but as you scale with trading cards, it became a real issue as we got 100,000, 1 million unique items, and we found a technology to digitize it because we were able to partner with Fujitsu. And they had these scanners. You remember in the old days when you scanned, it was like zzz, flip it over, zzz. Now you got to crop it. And so I'm watching late night TV, and I'm seeing a commercial for Fujitsu, and they're like, it's business cards, it's documents, all flying through this machine. I'm like, that should work for trading cards. Wow. And so we brought it in, and it just changed everything for us. And so look for technologies that can grow your business, and don't be penny wise, pound foolish, because your time is money. And so we solved a problem with that, and as you get into the business, you're going to find different things and try to seek out the technologies that can streamline your processes and make your employees more efficient.
That's great. That's really great advice. Love that scale side of that. Gabe, what about you? Advice for young and new sellers?
Yeah, so for me, just reflecting on this question, I felt like yesterday that I was the young seller who's just starting out now, which I can't believe it's been 10 years doing this on eBay, so it's been a phenomenal journey for sure. But I'm a big rule of threes guy. So the first thing that I would recommend is that eBay sellers, really the eBay seller community is fantastic. There are so many smart, capable, and experienced sellers who really look out for each other. And when you first start out, there's so much that you need to learn and so many mistakes that you're going to make, but you don't always need to learn the hard way. If you create a strong relationship with the eBay seller community, you can get ahead of some of those problems. And so that way, the mistakes that you make early on, you can all the way avoid, which is really important if you want to fast track your growth. Second, get the fundamentals right. In order to create a wow experience for your buyers, make sure that your descriptions are clear and concise, and that your titles are clear and accurate, as well as your pictures really tell the honest truth of what items that you're selling, especially if you're selling used items. And lastly, come up with a creative way to differentiate yourself. So there are so many ways to do this, but of course, my favorite way is to be a part of the eBay for Charity program.
That's great. Yeah.
If I could just add one more thing, is to new sellers, embrace the long tail. Embrace the things that kind of take you from the low-hanging fruit to the top of the tree. And eBay's got the tools to provide that. And again, if you're selling something that everybody else sells, then it's just based on price. When you can sit there and get a little further out in your category, that's when you tend to have less competition. And to me, that's what we built our business upon, is just being as wide as possible. So for almost any search in your category, you at least have something for them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It makes a ton of sense. All right, one last question. Which type of buyer are you guys? Because I'm assuming while you are strong sellers, I would assume you're also big buyers. Horizontal, category, value, sourcing pro?
I can answer this one quickly. I'm a value seeker for sure. I get my technology through eBay. I'm a technologist, like I said. I like to purchase all different types of technology, whether it be computers, accessories, different graphics cards, monitors. I have so much fun testing electronics, but when you have a habit like that, you need to seek value. So I'm definitely the value seeker.
You and my husband would get along.
And I'm just more on the collector side. As someone that's been in this my whole entire life, it's just all those things that you could never see in a single storefront, or even a show for that matter, are available there, and I'm just wowed by the selection. And so I'm certainly the person on there that's looking for that memory that I had as a kid that I could never have afforded back then, but now all of a sudden I have the purchasing power to do that. And there's no other platform for the passion categories that eBay is. I'm not looking for toilet paper or things like that. I'm looking for things that have meaning to me. And eBay is obviously the platform for that.
Love hearing that. Well, thank you so much, Rob and Gabe, for joining me at eBay Open today. It's been wonderful to have you guys. I learn every single conversation like this. And thank you again, sellers, all of you in the audience. We can't wait to see these return buyers coming back to you and your stores again and again.